Thank you for tuning in to the Rock is George podcast, episode 252, featuring vocalist Pete Summitt and guitarist David Harris of the modern rock act Crashing Wayward, discussing their latest single, Holding for Dear Life, their upcoming EP, and their Crazy 8 tour set to kick off on April 23rd. So, Peter, if I knew absolutely nothing about Crashing Wayward, how would you describe the band's music to me?
Oh gosh, that's such a tricky question because we are modern rock, but what is modern rock, So I think the best way to describe what we are is that we are both something that's familiar and we're also something that is where rock is going. It definitely has a modern sound, but there's something about us that familiarly feels good and is reminiscent of something. We don't try to get too, obvious with some of our influences, and sometimes Dave and I play with that. And Holding for Dear Life was definitely a testament to one of our kind of favorite bands mutually. But we're so much more than that. It's like when we go to a show, or we play a show, you guys remind me of the Killers or Stone Temple Pilots or Soundgarden or Psychedelic Furs or Foo Fighters. We're all of the above because it's just that familiar feeling, and it's also the future. That's kind of it. And would you say, Dave?
Yeah, sure. It's like, you are what you eat. It's like, love music, obviously we love the Cult and AC/DC and, stuff that our parents would play. And there's only so many notes in a scale. So, you're gonna hear a song on the radio and you're gonna be like, damn, I wish I wrote that. And you're gonna try to top that song. So you're gonna push music forward. That's how, great music keeps going. So.
David, Crashing Wayward's latest single is Holding for Dear Life. It came out on February 27th through Golden Robot Records. It was voted Classic Rock Magazine's Track of the Week by a substantial advantage over everybody else. Are you surprised at the positive response so far?
Yeah, it was amazing. Like, my mom's English, so it's being like, she's from Manchester. So that, for me, that's really cool since it's a British magazine. Being the track of the week is, that's killers. It was like 50% or something like that. It's amazing. I can't wait to get over there and tour. So I think it's the goal to get in the fall to go over there, and knowing that it's been accepted like that, hopefully by the people over there, and obviously our fans were amazing going and voting. So I'm surprised, honestly. There's some great artists that week.
Peter, what do you think of the response to the new single?
I think it's awesome. And I think Dave and we talk about this quite a bit because I think I really think that, and I'm going to be totally transparent because I think that we need to be transparent in music today. It's not all, oh man, everything's great, everybody loves it. We definitely have people that love it. And then this is our first taste of people that there's been comments on it that aren't so positive sometimes. And I actually take that as a testament we are going in the right direction. Because if we're only being fed that, oh, it's great, it's killer, then not enough people are hearing it. Because no matter what, whoever you are, you'd be the greatest. Michael Jackson, Prince, Freddie Mercury, all had people that want to bring you down. And if there's people out there that want to bring us down, then it means we're doing something right. But the response has been amazing, and I think it's my favorite release that we've put out so far. Absolutely. And I know plenty of people probably feel the same way. So.
Well, I'll tell you, as a classic rock guy, I saw the label on your band as being modern rock, and I'm like, it's just not my jam. And then I listened to it, and I'm like, oh, this is pretty good. And then I listened to another song. I'm like, this is pretty good. And then I listened to another song. I'm like, I really like this band.
Ah,
Yeah.
that's
So
thank you. And thank you for taking the time to actually listen to more than just, 15 seconds. That's hard these days. Yeah.
it's kind of that world we're living in, right, David?
Yeah.
15 microseconds to get your stuff over.
Oh, it's insane. You know, it's like, how do you grab people now? Everybody's attention deficit's so small.
Peter, let's talk a little bit about what inspired the lyrics to your latest single. Was there an event that happened or something you observed or just completely made up?
No, I think it's something that most of us have gone through, whether it be in a relationship that just consumes us, every thought. And it's that relationship is like your religion. You worship that person, and sometimes that person isn't the right person for you. So it's kind of from the perspective of just being fully consumed and worshiping the person who's, not who you should be worshiping. And I think I felt it was important to write from the perspective of kind of my experience, which I know has to be the experience of a lot of people, and to write lyrics that will relate and resonate with people as well. I really like to play with puns and tongue-in-cheek kind of, metaphors, and religion is always fun, you know, say, bathing in your fire like it's holy water, like stuff like that. I love playing with, words like that and trying to make them to fit. And what's he trying to say? Ooh, that's interesting. So yeah, it's just really trying to come from a place of relationship that isn't the right one, but we've all been through it. We've all been through that fire, you know.
David, from a guitarist point of view, how did this song come together?
And it started with like the heavy rock riff in the beginning. A lot of the songs I write in weird tunings, and this is one of the few I kind of just a drop D, so I don't really play in like standard tuning very often. And um, so I started the riff, started the demo, I sent it to Pete. He threw his lyrics on it, and the beginning was just kind of boring, starting with that riff, and I took I had the clean part in the second verse. I started messing with that and chopping it up. And that's how you get that intro, that kind of cult sounding intro. So I actually never played that part until we played it live. And because when you hear the song, that's just the demo on the recording, just chopped up. And so I just kind of cut and pasted and put it places where I thought sounded cool. And then Pete's like, put that at the end. It's cool. So we kind of just threw it at the end of the song. So that's where you hear it again. But yeah, so it's kind of just cut and paste and threw together. But yeah, it was just kind of, just kind of pieced together, just put around kind of Pete's lyrics, the way he phrased things, like the way you saying the pre-chorus, how he was singing that, kind of chopped the pieces together. I need coffee. I'm still waking up, boys. I don't even drink coffee. But yeah, it was just really based around that riff and Pete's lyrics, the way he sang around it. It's kind of his lyrics are very inspiring, and lately I've been really forming a lot of songs based around his lyrics. I know he's gotten for the next record. I know we're talking about this record and this song, but for our next record, his lyrics are so good. And I'm really excited about our next record. I know we're promoting this record and this EP and stuff like this, but man, his lyrics in this next record are so good. So sorry.
Thanks,
yeah.
man.
That's a hell of a compliment, Peter.
Yeah, it is.
But my riffs are great for this next record too. Yeah.
Who came up with the concept for the singles cover, the two women's legs and the rosary?
That was actually we kind of gave an idea and direction to an artist we've been working with who's been doing our promotional flyers, and he did a few singles. That was to Alex Hagen. We kind of just there was one idea that we gave, which was kind of like a little bit more on that religious direction. And it came back and we're like, this might kind of upset some people. It was some kissing nuns, and it was a little bit risque, and uh, we felt that that was probably a little bit too on the nose, and you know, overshadow what the song is actually about. So we asked him to take another reapproach, and he kept the rosary on it. And the rosary actually ties into our next album art as well. So we like to try to keep imagery cohesive and tie in to each piece, especially with this EP that's coming out, making sure that all the branding is on point in that way. So I think the rosary kind of plays, it's one of those things that's like, it's just timelessly cool that fits with rock and roll, from like the Cult, early Cult, or Sisters of Mercy, or, you know, stuff like that really kind of speaks to us. So I really like playing with the rosary and religion and stuff like that. So
One thing that's great about Pete, where he lets me mess with production and the music side of things. He's really great with just the design, like the album covers and stuff like that, and as well as our t-shirt designs and things. So it's really cool, like his vision and stuff. Even the music videos, a lot of times he like has a great vision for stuff like that. So
this is awesome. I hearing Dave pay me compliments is amazing. He's,
He feels guilty. He forgot your birthday yesterday.
yes.
Dude, his birthday is today.
Mhm.
In some time zone, it is.
Yes.
So you guys both alluded to the EP. It's supposed to be coming out in the fall through Golden Robot Records. Is it still called The Fight Within, Pete?
Yes, it is. And we actually pulled that title from the next EP. So we kind of took a song off that. We thought it really spoke to the band currently and where we're going. It is a fight, it is a struggle, and but we're just kind of, feeling that we're really kind of getting the eyes and the vision and the band's direction, I think, is the best it has ever been. So, and it was a fight to get there. So we felt it was appropriate title to pull that from a future song to use on this. And I think we spoke about that, right, Dave? Like other bands have done that where
Zeppelin did that.
Yeah, Zeppelin did that, right?
Houses of the Holy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And wait till you hear this song. Dude, the riff is killer. It's so simple. It's just a simple riff, but it's super catchy. And again, great lyric. And I don't know, it's such a strong song. The other day at the gym, I was like going through our demos for the next record. I know our Michael is going to kill me, our manager, that we keep talking about our next record when we should be talking about this record and what we're doing.
Well, it's part one. Yeah.
Part one.
Part
Exactly.
Yeah. But George, let me tell you, there is seriously, the next song is a banger. The one that follows that is a banger. And we are going to, before the EP comes out, the single, the Brass Coffin, that is the one. That is, I think, going to hook you hard. Like if you were reluctant to modern rock and you gave us, and you're like, okay, when you hear Brass Coffin, you'll be like, okay, I get this fully. I'm fully invested.
Are we allowed to send you these songs? Would Michael kill us if we sent you like a sneak preview of the EP?
I get songs all the time before they come out. Feel free.
Okay. But what was I saying? So I was at the gym the other day, and I was like going through the songs, the demos for the next EP, and I was like, damn, these are like good. I mean, we have a lot. And I was like, I don't know, like, I was like, we're gonna have to pull some songs to hold for the EP for our next full length, because I think we might have too many songs for an EP.
Yeah.
Because then I was like, because we're writing some more, because I think we need a couple more rockers. But I was like, gosh, fuck. Can I cuss? I'm sorry. There's some good. I was like, wow. I was like, I'm really proud of like what we're doing because I was like, it just shows the growth and like what we have for this EP that we have coming up, like where we're at musically and what we've done and where we're going. It's like it's really exciting. And
Yeah.
I'm really like proud of like where we started with our first record, the Listen record, and like where we've taken it and the progression and where we've come as songwriters and like the chemistry that me and Pete have developed and where we're taking it. And to me it's exciting and I'm excited just to keep writing and seeing where we're going to go from here and see where we're going to go. But anyway, Holding for Dear Life, hell yeah, it's killer. I can't wait for more people to hear the song. Yeah, sorry, I'm going to shut up now and let you do your job.
Peter, do you have a firm release date on the upcoming EP?
I believe it is firm, but it is kind of possibly tentative as long as everything goes smoothly with the next 3 releases leading to that. I believe it's end of September, right, Dave? September 28th, 27th, something like that.
Yeah, it's something like that. I don't remember honestly what it is offhand.
But it's definitely going to be September.
Yeah,
if it goes smooth, but if for whatever there's might be a hiccup or something, then it will be October. But definitely September, early October for sure.
Yeah, our next single, Bullet for a Heart, is the 28th of April.
April
24th.
April 24th. I just got the video, the final for that. Super excited about that. So yeah.
So
That's
David,
sorry.
If you have an EP ready to go in September and you have another EP's worth of material, why not just put it all in one studio album? Because it's been some years since your last studio album.
Because that's not the deal we signed.
Fair enough.
Yeah. No, because it's just the way people consume music nowadays. I think he wants to put it out in chunks, and it gives us time to record some more songs. We went in how we did this record. We had 3 songs cut already, I think, and we recut a couple. I went back in and redid a bunch of guitar stuff on it. We remixed it, remastered it. Brass Coffin is a song that Pete and I had cut. And then I went in and finished that up, and he cut vocals and killed the vocals on it. Wait till you hear his singing on it. I don't know how he's going to do the song live. I think I'm sure he's like, how I'm going to do the song live. It's like Freddie Mercury, how his vocal is just huge on it. But it's a killer song. The riff's big. It's when we were cutting it, the drummer was like, "That's a Dave riff," because it's like it's kind of the riffs. I write riffs a certain way, and it's in a weird tuning. There's slide guitar all over it. It has my weird stuff I do on the chorus, which is very Billy Duffy. I know I'm a huge Billy Duffy guy. I know. I admit. I'm like, if you take Billy Duffy, Joe Perry, Keith Richards, Jimmy Page, and you put them in a blender, those are the guys I rip off. So, but it's very all those guys put into one, and then the vocals are just massive. It's a big hook in it. It's a cool song. Lyrically, it's cool. Pete said to me one time, I want to, Pete, I'm going to screw up your quote, so you're going to have to correct me. Or I might just stop and have you, say it. It's something like New York meets Manchester. What's that?
Yeah.
You always tell me.
Yeah, I always kind of like try to go with a vibe or what I feel, and I always feel like New York City, late 70s, early 80s, and the sound of Manchester and the bands that came out of London and Manchester. It's like those two cities to me, there's a vibe about them. There's like a rock and roll air about them of just like the coolness that came out of there. So I've always just kind of said to Dave, like, I want this to sound like you were in some rock club in New York City or Manchester. And for whatever, like nobody gets that. And I think that I can only say that to Dave and he understands what I'm saying.
So, so that's what we went for in that song. And for me, I think we captured it. So I
Yeah.
could be wrong, but that's what we went for in that song. It was just,
Absolutely.
so
Mhm.
Pete, when The Fight Within comes out, will it include your singles Circles and In Bed With My Head, or will those remain standalones?
Those are going to remain standalones. And so we have, we're on the EP, The Fight Within, we'll have two songs that were previously released, but Dave went through and recut guitars. We did a remix, a remaster on those. So those are going to be two fresh, brand new songs, essentially. And yeah, and then we got a couple more unreleased tracks on that are never been heard. And we've been playing these live. So I kind of want to go back to the production on this real quick if I can. What we had put out previously with Listen, which was a beautiful, very, big production sounding record, very slick. And Dave and I, when we started working on this EP, we wanted to create something that felt was our stage show. So these songs and this EP is what this band is live. We pull off this EP live. And I think we did with our previous songs. Listen, we're strong, but this is like seeing us on stage. Because when you put on a record or a CD or whatever, however you're listening to it, and you hear a band, and then you go see them live, and it's like without all those tracks, nothing against people that run tracks. I'm not against any of that if that's their thing, but we are on record what we are live. And I think that was important, was to get that rawness. And we weren't striving for perfection. We were striving really only for feel. And that's why I think what I'm most proud of with this EP that's coming out is that this is our heart and soul is truly in this EP and is going to be on the future works that we put out afterwards as well. So,
David, how did you get the deal with Golden Robot Records?
I kind of just sent them some of our new material, and they
so
just,
casual.
so they and they just kind of
It sounds so easy. I'm sorry.
wrote me back, and we started conversation from there. It was the new songs that basically the Holding for Dear Life was the song I sent. And we just kind of started a conversation. We're on tour and we started a conversation from there. And I was like, oh, okay. And next thing you know, we're putting out a record with them.
Yeah.
Peter, does Golden Robot plan to put out physical copies of the upcoming EP?
I do believe so. Yeah, we're really hoping for vinyl, especially if we get to the UK this year. Would really love to see Fight Within on vinyl. Definitely will have that if we get to the UK for sure. I believe CDs at least as well. So yeah, I do plan on seeing some CDs and vinyl at some point for this for sure.
David, Crashing Wayward's going to be heading out on a Midwest U.S. tour starting on April 23rd. It's called the Crazy 8 Tour. First, I got to know why it's called the Crazy 8 Tour.
It was a reference. Carl came up with that, correct, Pete? It was Pete probably tells us better than I. It's a reference to a movie. What's the movie?
Yeah. So first, Carl, he said, "Hey, I got an idea." I said, "Oh, that's cool, man. Let's do it." And he, because the routing is going to be taking us from like 8-hour drives, kind of back and forth. So we're going to go from California to Kansas City, Missouri, and then to, someplace in South Dakota, Colorado. So
Sucks.
so he thought Crazy Eight, and he wanted to go with the Kill Bill theme. And so again, we uh, went to Alex Hagen to come up with the artwork for that, and it was killer. And we actually have merch with that. So we're going to kind of run with that Kill Bill kind of vibe for this run merch wise and see how long it lasts. So,
David, you're going to have local acts opening up for you guys along the way?
Yes, sir. So I think we have some cool bands on this run. I don't know all the names of the bands offhand, but from what I've heard, there's some cool ones.
mm-hmm.
Pete, on May 6th, the tour heads to Las Vegas at the Backstage Bar and Billiards. This is a hometown show for Crashing Wayward, so I'd imagine that the crowds get pretty crazy for you guys.
Yeah. Vegas is always fun. And we do have some hardcore fans. They're awesome. And yeah, it's funny because Vegas, there's always something going on. The Eagles will be playing, Metallica, AC/DC, whatever. But I love when we see our fans come out and support us in a town that always has something else going on. So it's a true testament, to be in hometown and see people spending their Vegas evening with us.
David, were you originally supposed to open for Glenn Hughes in Vegas?
Yes, and I'm so bummed that he canceled his tour for health reasons. So it was Glenn Hughes, Gilby Clark, and us, and another local band, Vox, which is still on the bill. So it's basically the same show minus Glenn Hughes. So I've never seen Glenn Hughes, and I've always wanted to see him. So I'm still not going to see him.
I got to see him once in my life, too, and that was a couple of
Dude.
years back, and he was fantastic.
Dude, it's insane how old he is and how amazing he still sounds.
It is.
Especially,
I wish he was doing more than Deep Purple songs, but whatever.
yeah. I know, because he's been in all those bands, like even that band he did with Jason Bottom, California. What's that?
California. He had California Breed, and then he had
Yes.
Black Country Communion.
Yes, both those bands are just amazing. I would love to hear him play those songs. Oh well.
Absolutely. So, Pete, the first stop of the tour is at a brewery. I feel like there needs to be a Crashing Wayward IPA or something in honor of this show.
Absolutely. Carl, our bass player, would absolutely love if we had our own IPA. He is the IPA drinker. And so we're playing at Transplants Brewery, which is actually an awesome venue. Sometimes when you hear the names of the venues, it's like bar and grill, but then you get there and it's like, oh, it's like a theater. Yeah. So Transplants is awesome. We played there once before. Great stage, great lighting, great room. So we're excited to be back for sure. And this, like Dave was saying, there's a couple of bands on this bill, local bands, and they're really good. So the bands that we're seeing playing these shows with us, you got to come out. It's worth checking out this show for sure. If not just for us, everybody that's playing.
David, after you wrap up the Midwest U.S. tour, you putting things in place for something for the summer?
Yeah, we have dates booked for the summer already, and we have they're still putting more dates together for another run, and then we have the UK dates and Europe dates they're putting together for the fall. So we got a busy, couple for the rest of the year together. Then we're trying to put together some dates to get into the studio to finish up the next EP, because we had to put that together so they could get that out. So, we're gonna be busy.
It sounds like it.
Yeah.
Pete, I was listening to the first Crashing Wayward album, Listen. It came out in 2023. I was streaming it on Apple Music, and I noticed the copyright at the bottom said Ron Keel, who I've had on my podcast a couple times. So what's the story behind Ron Keel being attached to that album?
So we were previously on his label, RFK Media. Our previous drummer, Sean McKee, was played with Ron, I believe, in a band that Ron was doing, K2 or something, Badlands, that was connected to Badlands in South Dakota. Anyways, they were friends, and Sean sent him our song Stranger Days, and Ron was floored. He he said that was the best song that he's had heard in 30 years, and he was just hitting space bars every time it would end. He would hit the space bar and repeat it. And so at that time, it was he wanted to put out the album, and he was a brand new label, and we really liked Ron. He was a great guy, and felt it was the right thing to do at that time, and we put it out. And we got some good things out of it. We got a tour, play Nashville, and we started kind of from that our national touring, which is where we're at now. So yeah, that's how we were kind of connected to Ron.
I can't remember all the bands he's been in either, so don't worry about it.
Yeah. Okay, good.
David, outside of Crashing Wayward, do you work with any other bands?
Yeah, I've been in a few bands throughout my career, but yeah, Crashing Wayward are the ones I kind of focus on now.
Well, a lot of bands today have multiple things going on. When one band's on tour, they're taking a break from the other band, and then when that band dies down, they jump over to that. Peter, do you have any other things going on?
I do. Yeah, I do have a kind of a newer band. It's different, but it's just something that it's like what you're saying, like when we have downtime, it's like I need to continue creating, and we have different outlets. But Dave and I nonstop are writing and working, that it's like it really keeps me fulfilled and working nonstop. So like he was saying, we have another album written. So yeah, I definitely get with Crashing Wayward, I really get to cover a lot of bases that I want to musically. So it gets a lot of my attention. Even at home, I work at home, and my wife is like, "Where's your head?" I'm like, "In the th song that Dave just sent me." And so that's where I spend most of my time, in my head.
In my head.
Yeah, in bed with my head.
As a songwriter, Pete, do you get worried that you create these songs and the industry as a whole makes you wait till you put it out? And if you want physical media like a vinyl, you got to wait another 6 months. You got to wait that by the time your song gets out, it's stale to you, not necessarily to the listener's ear.
Yeah, I think that's where I really try to, I think sound wise, like musically, Dave is writing stuff that's going, it is timeless, like kind of like going back to where it has that familiar, but it's also modern, and we're really kind of working something that feels live and authentic, like straight from the stage to, the CD, the radio, however you're listening to it. But I think lyrically is where it kind of gets tricky. And I'm very conscious of what words I use that are not necessarily of trend. So I don't ever reference social media like TikTok, because who knows if TikTok is going to be around next year. So there's certain words, there's certain kind of events that might happen that I really try to write from a more broader perspective than just zero in on a moment. So, like we're always going to have political unrest. I've never known no political unrest in my life, or there never will be political unrest. So to be able to write about that and kind of be a little bit more metaphorically, not so direct and literal, then that, I mean, you can write about that all day, and, we can sit on that for a couple of years and people go, yep, I get it. Political unrest.
David, how do you feel about the wait, creating something and just so long before it finally gets out?
Honestly, I don't get bored playing the songs. I think it's because, if people like the songs, that's what gets me excited about playing them. It's like, if, you play a song a million times, but you're playing them to different people, and if someone's digging them, that's that's what makes it cool to play, you know? So it's not really, once you put them out, it's not your song anymore. It's that person's song. So that's how I see it.
Can I add to that, Dave, real quick? Or
No.
George, okay. Like what he's saying when we play it live is if, you know, we don't play to any tracks. Again, I'm not knocking anybody that does, but it kind of gives us when we don't play to the tracks. We have a lighting show which runs on tracks, but we're not playing musically to any tracks. But it gives us the flexibility to play with those songs every night. So sometimes my inflection is going to be different, or I'm a different approach. Dave can, you know, if he's feeling something different. So it always stays interesting and fresh every show.
And that's how it should be.
Right.
Well,
Yeah,
Pete,
so we might suck one night.
That too.
just don't release the recordings of that night. Well, Pete, David, those are all the questions I have for you today. The new Crashing Wayward single is Holding for Dear Life. It's out now through Golden Robot Records. The Fight Within EP comes out in the fall, and then there's another EP we weren't supposed to talk about that will follow that. And I want to thank you guys for telling me all about it today.
Absolutely. We're very excited about that, as you can tell. So yeah, we're definitely and we'll send you the unreleased Brass Coffin. You got to hear it, George, and we'd love to hear what you think about it.
That sounds great. Looking forward to it, and I wish you guys the best of luck. And when you make your way up to the East Coast, I hope to see you.
Thanks so much for having us.
Once again, I want to thank Peter Summit and David Harris of Crashing Wayward for coming on the Rock is George podcast. Be sure to check out their latest single, Holding for Dear Life, out now on your favorite streaming platform. While you're there, check out the back catalog, some really good stuff there. For all things Crashing Wayward, head over to their official website, crashingwayward.com. I also want to thank Michael Licata of Licata Productions for making this interview possible. You've been great. I've been George Dionne. Discover your next favorite artist on the Rock is George podcast.